Hi guys, Henry Hart here. With me always is the punk rock brother man, Mr. Jonny Noize.
Hey, there's the channel. We got a really cool show for you tonight. Uh, Coming from the West Coast out there. So I'll let Henry do the introductions and we'll kick it off.
All right, tonight we are very proud and honored to have with us Ryan and Jason from Boogeyman.
What's
What's
up,
going on,
guys?
guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Hell yeah, glad to be here.
Thanks for coming on the show, man. Let's jump right into this. So, who are some of your guys' biggest influences?
I mean, I always say King Diamond with our music. Obviously the Misfits, Bad Religion. For me, those are like the sums it up.
I'd say another one to add, and I share those same influences Jason does. We're brothers when it comes to musical influences here. But Iron Maiden would definitely be another one here that's big for us. But yeah, Misfits, TSOL, Agent Orange, those sort of kind of West Coast bands at the time. Still today, love that stuff. So.
Ramones.
Oh, cool.
No,
Cool.
yeah.
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 Maybe some Black Flag or something.
Yeah, I like a lot of the '80s punk and late '70s, '80s stuff.
Yeah. I was caught up in it too, man. I mean, with the whole morning noise thing, and it was a different era back then, in New York. So than it is today.
Oh, I bet.
So it was definitely yeah. Playing CBs and Maxes and the Peanut Gallery, those places in New York City was like, back in the day was like the shit, So I thought it was pretty awesome,
Oh yeah.
But,
I'd love
yeah,
to see some
yeah.
of that stuff. Missed it with some of them, unfortunately.
So were you on the? I just bought a record they released on Cleopatra a few years back. Were you on that record, the Morning Noise record? You're on that?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the full album that they re-released, with the curtains in the back, they were all standing there. I'm
Yeah.
on that one, and then I'm on the. Then after that, we did an LP with 4 songs at the Seville. I'm on that, and then shortly after that, I live in another state, so it's kind of almost impossible for me to continue on because they're in Jersey, I'm in Alabama. So we decided that, yeah. So I landed here by accident, as a matter of fact. But so it's impossible for me to kind of stay with it. I can't go, back and forth. There was no private jet. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
so yeah. But it is what it is. But of course, the early stuff that was all me, and then the At the Seville was my rhythm guitar work. And then I did a Black Friday show, flew in from New Orleans. We did that when everything kind of first broke out. And then of course, I had to kind of step down after that because it's just impossible to kind of get back and forth, with everything. So
Sure.
it is what it is, though. Yeah, you enjoy the ride, man. You just take the ride, get on the bus, and keep going. So
That's right.
it's all good. Yes. Oh yeah, it's awesome. So definitely awesome.
When you
Opened
did
up a lot of doors.
Hell yeah. When they played with the Misfits a few years back, were you like, come on, I could fly in for this one? Probably. I mean, come
Yeah.
on.
Oh, trust me. I was hounding my cousins. I was ready to buy a ticket. But I get it. There was a lot involved with that show.
Sure.
And I would have had to come in pretty quick, and then they already had the set done up, and you need a good solid week or more to prep for something like that. And I just couldn't, pull that off. I could have been there a few days prior, but so I kind of understood there was a lot involved with getting all that together. I was disappointed. Don't get me wrong. I was like, son of a bitch, I want to get out there. But what do you do? You wish them well and say, hey, I know you guys are gonna kick ass and whatever, and so it's all good. And but yeah, man, I was I was a little fired up. Let's put it that way. But as you can imagine, it's like, hey, what the, but it's all good. I know logistically it was impossible. It was just impossible.
Yeah.
But not that I didn't drive him crazy on it. Trust me, I was poking the old bear. Come on, motherfucker.
Yeah,
It's all good. Like I
basically
said.
for this style of music, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, everything changed. Kind of stepped away from the horror punk kind of thing a little bit. With what they're writing now, which is good. But so, like, tell you what though, when I play out here with some of the bands, they want to hear some of the old stuff too. So they want to hear the
Yeah.
old punk. Hey, I'll, if the kiddies want it, I'm going to give it to them. So I still play some of the old school stuff. Uh, if I sit in with a couple of guys out here, like in Huntsville or Macon, Georgia, or whatever, I give them the old school Morning Noise, so it's pretty cool.
Nice.
So, but yeah. It's all good. But I don't know, Henry's got some more questions for you guys. I mean, this is your show, man. Yeah.
We're curious.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. Yeah.
ask away, guys. I don't have a problem because I always love hearing about this stuff. Um, but let's get into something that I really wanted to talk with you guys about. And let me stretch up over here. Now, your first full length album is Rotten Leaves, and it something I didn't know about that it comes with the graphic novel. You know, so how did that concept come up?
Well, that is actually our second full length album.
Oh, it's the second one. Oh,
Yeah. So we have both albums story connect, and that book came out after the first album, and it kind of like leaves it
okay,
in the middle.
okay.
The second album picks up where that book ends. So
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
so
right?
we wrote like the first album, Jason and I together, and I wrote all the music, and Jason wrote all the lyrics and the melodies and all that, and wrote out the story. And then we had one of our writer buddies kind of flesh out like that story like further, and that's where it all kind of started. So, because like with the Misfits and everyone, like writing songs about, Friday the 13th or what have you, we thought we should try doing something a little different and, like pen our own story here a little bit, and so that's kind of what we've done. We'd like to do a book for the second one for Rotten Leaves there, and we'll see, what happens with that. But we've been working on our EP here recently, and that's going to be kind of the prequel actually to the first and second album there, and we plan on having that out here in like the fall of this year.
Oh,
So
cool.
You heard it here first, folks.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Well,
That's it.
thanks.
We got the inside scoop. We got the inside scoop. On that.
No kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding. Well, thanks for correcting me on that because I just got both. I got both, and I was like really intrigued because I was like, okay, this follows it's a story and it's the telling of a story, and I was really intrigued. I sat and put the CD on and was spinning the music while I was reading the novel, and I was like, somehow it made sense,
Sure.
It's really cool.
Going back to the influences a little bit, it's not just musical. I'd say a lot of them, are kind of literary too. Like the H.P. Lovecrafts, the Stephen Kings. That kind of horror. In some ways, more appealing to Jason and I more than movies, even when it comes to that sort of thing. And so I think with that sort of, I don't know, narrative, I guess, we took off with that and just tried to do something a little different here. And, it's been kind of fun, because everything is kind of real cinematic in our mind, when it comes to these things. And so we have a good time.
Yeah, everything means something. We wanted to out nerd the horror punk nerds, and I think we might have done it.
Well on our way.
Oh my God, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, it's something different. You know what I mean? You take a different approach out of putting all that together, other than just So I think that's pretty cool. I mean, your music. I listened to a few clips. How would you kind of describe your style? You know what I mean? Because it's a little different. Well, some of the songs I heard, it seems a bit different than like real hard punk or whatever. How would you kind of where would you put your music style? I guess for what you're doing.
We can either be pretty poppy, upbeat, or kind of hard. Definitely, there's the the American Psycho era type of Misfits thing, just the way palm mutes and stuff kind of have that influence always. So I don't know, metallic and yet simple.
I think we're also influenced by having organ in the band. Like Murder City Devils were real inspirational with kind of having the real grindy organ going on with some of their stuff, and kind of wanting to incorporate a little bit of that as well, doing all that. But I think a lot of our influence, or my influence, really is kind of like a '90s skate punk a little bit when it comes to this sort of thing. So I don't know, the NoFX, Pennywise, that era, Bouncing Souls, that sort of ness. Also like a big Cockspar fan. That sort of, I don't know, snotty rock a little bit. From time to time. And so yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome.
Yep. What you got, Henry?
Let's see. I'm going down the list because I made a little bit of a list of questions. So what was how was playing the show with y'all did a show recently with Evelyn's Casket and Nimvin. How did that show go?
It's a blast. That was a good time.
Yeah, it was. We've played with Evelyn's Casket before. We know David, great guy, and so it was nice of them to come out and do a show this time with Nimvind as well. And so it was nice to meet him, especially after hearing the songs over the years, and then like seeing it live for the first time, and then everyone hanging out and talking afterwards. That's what's so nice. Everyone just seems like get along and just have like an easygoing time, doing all this. And really, I think everyone just had a great night, all in all.
Feels like a triple whammy because Nikki's from 5 Cent Freak Show. He's in Evan's Casket as well. But those guys were absolute gentlemen. We got there, and they had their drums all set up and everything. And we got 6 members in our band. And so they went and took their instruments off, and we're like, no problem. You know what I mean? That does not happen a whole lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Right.
Like, still stand on the floor to sing, buddy. But.
Yeah. I mean, it's when you start backlining, several bands, and let the stage is ginormous. Yeah, someone's gonna get squished off somewhere.
That's pretty much it. That's exactly it. It's like, all right, thanks guys, appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, we've like Huntsville, the clubs out here and stuff like that. A lot of times we wouldn't even swap. We would just leave the drum kit set up, whoever set up first, and everybody just makes it so much easier to swap out bands.
Yeah.
And then backline your amps. But we've done that before, and then Macon at the Macon Arts Center, we played a couple shows down there, and same thing. The band before us was real cool. Said, look, can we just use your stuff? We'll just plug our shit in. And they're like, yeah, no problem, man. So otherwise, man, breaking down drums and moving amps and trying to, when you're on a time crunch, when you got like a dozen bands and 2 buildings that we played in, you don't have time to, so it was like we were just borrowing equipment.
Yeah, leave the kit up there, bring your kick pedal, bring your snare, go.
That's it. Go. Yeah. Same thing with like guitar amps and stuff. I was like, dude, I got my effects processor, I can plug it into your shit, and everybody was real cool about it. Let's go. So yeah, you don't have that time, with that type of setup to do that. But it's if you got a good group of folks, it works out really well.
It's interesting you say that because I feel like shows out here have maybe changed a little bit, because I feel like shows used to be kind of focused on like 4 or 5 bands, and now I feel like it's consistently 3, and that's been kind of interesting change to me over the last couple of years. I don't know if you see the same, out where you're at. I'm seeing like less bands on some bills, unless it's a completely stacked bill, 15 bands. We're going from 9 a.m. to the next morning sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
I don't, I here it really depends. they tend to overbook because a lot of people cancel, which is kind of par for the course, when you're dealing with some of these people. But like personally, 3 is perfect. You push 4, and then all of a sudden they're cutting your set down. Hey, well, you only got a half hour. Like, I have to set up all this stuff to play a half-hour set, guys. Come on. So
Sure.
3 works out. But I've also found out the crowds here, or the clubs here, you don't want to headline. You know what I mean? So it's like you want to go in the middle. Because
That's right.
First band, nobody's there. You're in the middle, you're good. The headliner, people are leaving. So we're like, well, I'll never headline another show. I hit it in the middle, and like the place is packed, and that's how I get them. So if I do a show, I'm like, hey, you want to headline? Yeah, man, I'll headline. All right, bro, you got it, bro. And you feel bad because like people start leaving. So other than the other bands supporting whoever's on last, it just doesn't work out. That's here. I'm not sure where anybody everywhere else is, but for some reason that's the dynamic here. If you go on last, it's going to be violins and crickets. It's like everybody starts walking out the door.
No, I would say that's similar out here as well. It's like with us anymore, if it's a decision between going on first or last, we're probably better off going first than last. And there's usually more people there at that point anyway. This certainly depends on the show, but for the kind of like regular local bill here, that's kind of what we've seen, in our experience so far.
Yeah. It's you gotta play the dynamic on it, So you want to get the biggest bang for your buck, When do I have the most people? When am I gonna have the most effect on this club, and the biggest reaction? And I know with Crimson Carry, with my last band, I had a female singer, and she would kill it. I mean, just kill it. I mean, just her warm-ups on the microphone would stop the entire place. She was just had that powerful voice, and so anyway, the place would be at a standstill. But it's a weird dynamic. You wouldn't think. You think, okay, I'm going to headline. We're going to go on last and headline. Is no, it's not.
Yeah.
No one's going to see your shit that way. Trust me. So I kind of
maybe 3's the ticket then. So.
Otherwise, you're really crunched. I play some bigger shows out in Macon where there's several bands, and it just gets really rushed, And I like the clubs and stuff, or the theaters out there are real cool to play in, But it is a bit rushed, We are scrambling around and trying to make it work,
Yeah, and I think someone usually gets squeezed then, at that point, and that's always a bummer. You never want that to happen either. So.
Right. It's tough. It can be kind
quite
of
the
tough,
struggle.
But, oh man, you just ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. It's something else, But yeah, definitely. Let me kick it back to Henry. So he's got another question for you guys.
Yeah. The past couple of shows that I've been to, I've been about 3 bands. The Nosferatu Fest, though, back in February, with where Plan 9 headline, was pretty interesting because they started off with the sideshow performer first, and then the first band, the Necrotones, went on, played their set. They came off, and then a burlesque dancer came out, and then the Hates went on, and then they had another burlesque dancer come out, and then Plan 9 played the show and tore it up, man. They were badass. But this past week, I just went to go see the Subhumans. They played here at a place called the Rah Rah Room, and it was pretty much 3 bands, and each band got to play their full set, but they had to tear down pretty quickly in between. And after the show, of course, the Subhumans were there, so I ran up to them. I got all 4 members to sign my vinyl that I bought there at the show, and they were pulling out. Even though they were tearing down and carrying stuff to their van, they still took the time to say thank you and sign my vinyl for me, so that was pretty awesome. But getting back to the questions though. So this is a big one for me because this was the first song I had heard from you guys. What is the story behind "Tear for the Drowning Boy"? What's that concept all about?
Well, so it's a standalone kind of song, but if have you read the book or yet or no?
Yeah, I've read the book the other read it when I got it a few. I think I got it in the last week. So
So
I know that there's something, some kind of to do. There's some kind of connection, but I just I I just wanted to hear from you guys. You know.
yeah, my friend who wrote the book added just there's a because it's talking about the boy who's blind, but he ends up being able to see ghosts and stuff, and he
Yeah.
and he made a few characters, and he said, oh, and one of them was this kid that he would see in a loop drowning over and over again, and it just mentions it like in 2 sentences or something, and I was like, I'm gonna write a song about that. That was pretty cool, and it links in with our thing, but you know.
Yeah, that whole concept of the character being blind, but then he's blind, but he can see the spirits is pretty awesome. You know, it's definitely something different that I've never really seen, and I've never really seen that with the band take that kind of concept and roll with it before. So it's very I feel that it's very unique and different.
You know,
So
it's been a lot of fun for us during live shows. You know, as we've grown, because we're a pretty young band, you know, we haven't been doing this iteration very long, but it's been fun as we've kind of, I think, grown and learned, especially Jason, you know, as we kind of like ham it up, play it up, you know, with like the talisman inside the box and, you know, all the spooky little things that we, you know, we do, like we have communion at the end of one of our songs. You know, it's called "Communion in the Wind," and
oh,
you know, we
okay.
just kind of play that sort of thing.
Yeah, we like to be
Yeah.
theatrical. But yeah,
Let's
the
see.
drowning boy is basically a boy that nobody ever found. He's been missing. The mystery is
This
not
happens
solved.
sometimes, guys. So
But one guy,
just have to
Yeah.
you
bear
know,
with
the boy was
us.
able to see him, so he knows the drowning boy. So
We'll
that was
edit.
basically it.
Let's see if we can get him back.
We might have been frozen.
Oh,
Okay, they're probably gonna. Okay,
yeah,
we lost them for a second, but they're probably gonna leave and come back real quick. And
yeah. I'm hoping that everything when I play it back is kind of clear. It's a little because they're on the computer.
You just
So
Yeah.
when you talk, you're coming over the computer as well. So sometimes it works better with having the headphones on. It actually works best on a phone, to be honest with you.
yeah, it does.
Yep.
I've not had any. I've not had any issues.
No,
It's but
because it's kind of stop action and grainy, but sometimes when I play it back, it looks all smooth. So we'll
yeah.
have to see.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, if they would, I can splice and put it together. Um, once we get it all wrapped up, and then I'll just edit and
Yeah.
we'll figure it out. Oh, bummer, dude. Well,
I bet you anything there. I'm just like, oh,
yeah, no, that's all right.
it's all right. They'll be on in a second. But but yeah, man. I mean, cheer for the drowning boy. Like it, it it's a really interesting concept, and the
Hmm.
graphic novel is really it's
That's the
pretty
one.
intense.
That's the one that I've. Let me see. Yep, yep. That's why that has a different sound to it altogether. That song.
Oh yeah, yeah, because you could definitely tell it was a standalone, but it stemmed from the story.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you know, but yeah, that this kid he's blind, but he can see ghosts, and it's kind of like I don't know if you would want to call that a blessing or a curse, you know. Uh, but it's a pretty interesting story. People out there need to go ahead and they need to check that out. That's for sure.
Hmm. You want to hit them up and see if they want to try their phone. I think
Uh,
that it might come out better that way.
yeah. Let me see what I can do here.
I'm gonna hit. Here they come.
Okay, okay.
I was gonna stop, but that's okay. I'll just edit down. So
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes this happens. So okay, there you guys are. All right.
there we go. Here we go. Cool, cool,
Okay.
cool.
Awesome.
That's
Awesome.
okay. We'll just squash that part. No worries, no worries.
John will use the magic of editing. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
The magic of television. We'll make it work.
But okay. So Cure for the Drowning Boys standalone song. Oh, there they go again.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop it just for a sec,
Yeah.
and then I'll start back up again. So